welcome to my channel, this is linguamarina. What is your natural reaction to this? What?
What?
This is the way a lot of you ask people to repeat things. You just say, what? Or you say, what? Or you say, what? And depending on intonation, people can get offended. If you say, what? This is really impolite. If you say, what? People would think you'll be surprised. So there are other ways to ask people to repeat something. And we're gonna talk about these things in today's video. There are several ways to ask people to repeat information, and we're gonna start with formal ways. A very formal way to ask people for more information is very British. British people say, pardon? Pardon me?
Pardon?
And when they say, they mean that they didn't get what you were saying, so you're supposed to repeat things. You can also say, sorry?
Sorry, what?
Or, excuse me? So when you don't understand something, you just say, excuse me?
Excuse me?
And with the intonation and maybe you show your ear, people would understand that they need to repeat things. The most formal way is, I beg your pardon.
I beg your pardon?
Which is also, I'm trying to pronounce it with a British accent because I've never heard American people say, I beg your pardon. Maybe they do, but I've heard that a lot more often in Great Britain, in London. I beg your pardon. There are also some certain phrases that would help you out in this situation. You can say, excuse me, I didn't catch you. Could you repeat this again, please? Or you can say, I am sorry, I don't understand. Can you repeat, please?
I'm sorry, I don't understand.
Or if you want to be even more polite, you can say, could you repeat, please?
I'm sorry, could you repeat the question?
If somebody's saying a word or expression that you hear for the first time, you can say, excuse me, I hear this word for the first time, or this word is new for me. Could you explain what it means? Or you can say, I'm sorry, I'm not sure I understand what you mean by, and then add this word. For example, I say, I feel a little under the weather today. And you're like, under the weather? Feel under the weather? And you can say, I'm sorry, what do you mean by saying under the weather? What does that expression mean? And I would go ahead and explain that I'm feeling a little sick today, which is not true, thankfully. Of course, there are informal ways of asking people to repeat things, but please make sure you maintain the right intonation. Because, for example, the phrase, what did you say, can be said in two different ways. You can say, what did you say?
What'd you say? What?
And if you're chatting to a friend, that is totally fine. The friend would repeat. But if you're talking to a stranger and you use the wrong intonation, what did you just say?
What did you say?
That could be perceived as a way to start a fight. So I wouldn't really use this phrase with that intonation. Another informal way is just to say, huh? People would understand that they need to repeat. It's spelled like H-U-H, and you see that a lot in different texts or in different books that are informal. Americans love to contract words, and instead of excuse me, sometimes they just say, excuse me.
Excuse me. Excuse me.
So there is no eh in the beginning. Excuse me. You can also say, what was that? For example, somebody's telling you about things they're gonna do tomorrow and you didn't catch what they were saying and you're like, what was that? And they're gonna repeat.
What was that?
What was what?
And the last phrase in this informal section is something that can be used when you were focused on a different thing. For example, you were reading a book or you were meditating and somebody started talking to you and you're like, you stop meditating, you're like, This is HMMM if you spell it. And this phrase would let people know that you didn't catch what they were saying. Let's talk about some slang phrases that will mean the same thing, asking people to repeat information. You can say, come again.
Come again?
Very American, very widely used. Come again. You can also say, pass that by me again, which is not that widely used. If you don't understand something and you're giving up, you can just say, I don't get it. I'm sorry, I don't get it.
I don't get it.
Maybe you've been trying to understand that person several times and you tried saying, excuse me, and you tried saying, I don't understand this expression, and you tried saying, what do you mean? And you know, at the end, you're just giving up and you just say, I don't think I get it. And I wanted to wrap up this class with idioms. And remember, idioms are phrases that you cannot translate verbatim, which means word to word. Because if you try to translate them word to word into your own language, you're gonna get something that doesn't make any sense. Okay, idioms. This is all Greek to me. That means I don't understand a word. I think our wires are crossed.
I think maybe we got our wires crossed about tonight.
That's an idiom with the exact same meaning. That was as clear as mud. This actually makes sense because mud is not clear. Mud is dirty, and if something is as clear as mud, that means you can't see through, it's non-transparent, you don't understand. I can't make heads or tails of what you're saying. That's another idiom meaning I don't understand you. Everything you said is just a word salad. This is an amazing phrase, and I know some other languages have the same phrase. I remember German language has Ich höre nur die Bahnhof, which means I only hear railway station, which means I don't understand anything. It sounds super weird to me. So English language has the same phrase. By the way, if you're watching from Germany, comment down below which city you're from. I'm a fan of Dresden because I studied there. And yeah, the English expression is everything you said is just a word salad. That was it from me, guys. Please make sure you are culturally aware of what's going on and that you're using the right phrases in the right context with the right intonation, because what said in a wrong environment can lead to a fight or can offend a person. So please practice and be super discreet. Thank you so much, guys, for watching this video up to the very end. If you're not yet subscribed to this channel, hit subscribe button and I will see you very soon. Bye bye.